thought it might be fun to show off my vaping crap that I have. I've been started getting into vaping probably about 3 months ago, and this hobby really becomes expensive really quick. I don't mind saying, but I thought I'd go step by step through some of the stuff that I have and show you I tell you what I feel about it, and just show you what kind of stuff there is and basically how much I spent for each thing. So let's do it. Alright, so this is my Xcube II. This was the first mod that I purchased. It's the Smok Xcube II. I have a green silicone skin on there. You also have the TFV4 tank, which everybody knows about this tank. If you know anything about vaping, you know about this tank. It's a really good tank. This was my first vaping purchase, so I pretty much got raped. I paid, if you look at the sticker here, I didn't pay that much. I paid $99.99 for this Xcube, and as anybody knows, you can pick these up for like about $50 to $70 just about anywhere, but I didn't know that. And also, it was my first vaping gear, so the guy at the place that I bought it from, he really helped me out. He showed me how to use it and how to fill the tank, how to take it apart, told me a little bit about temperature control, stuff like that. So for me, it was worth it just so I could learn about it. But this is the actual item. This is the Xcube II. Right now I'm rocking a quad core. I guess it is called quad core. Yeah, quad coil head. And here's some replacement coils that I picked up for 20 bucks for a pack of 5. I also have these nickel ones for temperature control. So far, this Xcube, as most people know, can also do stainless steel, but I feel that in terms of temperature control, the nickel coils are probably the best way to go. I picked these up for, I think, $18.99 for a pack of 5, which is about normal. These coils really last a long time, so even though they cost more than most other coils out there, just in terms of the fact that they're so long-lasting and so good, makes it kind of worth it. One thing I want to note though, this mod, I like this mod, but it just, in terms of its size and just the fact that it's just, this fire button, I mean, I don't know. At first it seemed kind of novel to have this button, but it's kind of clunky, and so I hold it like this sometimes and I'll push it, sometimes it'll stick, and it's, I don't know. I like it. I mean, I still like this, and I kind of want to get an Xcube Mini still, which I probably will get, but I don't know. I think they make a lot of mods that are just a lot more sleek and less clunky than this thing. I do like the fact that it has all the features that it has. The temperature control has stainless steel, titanium, and nickel, of course. The screen, I really like the screen. I think it's really nice and clear. It's big. Has a lot of great functions on it. You can adjust the coefficients and whatnot, and the ohms and everything. And I really like it. But it just, in terms of its size, I generally don't use it that much except at home. The TFV4 tank is really good, but I got a lot of spit back with it. I don't know what it is, but no matter what coil I use, I get a certain amount of juice spitting up there, and it's kind of annoying. I mean, it does produce good clouds, as I'll illustrate. Yeah, good clouds. So there's that one. This is my battery charger. It's an eFast LUC V4 LCD universal charger. This is a really nice quality battery charger for basically every battery made. It has a little display where it shows the voltage of the batteries and what voltage they have and how it's being charged. You can do up to 2 amps. I was told by the guy that I bought this from, I think I paid like $22 for this, that you really don't want to charge batteries at 2 amps just because the batteries don't last as long. But it's a good charger. I use it at 1 amp. It generally charges batteries in like 2-3 hours, so I'm very happy with this charger. There's really not much that can be said about this. One thing that's kind of quirky about this is this USB. Apparently this is only used when you have charged batteries in this bay, then you can use this USB to charge other devices. But what's dumb is I can't just use it to charge, like right now, if I plug something into this slot, nothing happens. It doesn't charge because there's no batteries in there. But it's plugged in, so why wouldn't it? I don't understand it. But I still like the charger. I usually just use one of these little iPhone charger things to charge most of the mods that I have. So this is my Tesla Nano 100 watt. It came with the tank that's attached. That's called a Tesla Tornado tank. It's a sub-ohm tank. It's really an underrated tank. It's actually very, very good, this tank. It really chucks massive clouds for something that's so small. It's such a tiny little tank and just really nice and compact. It has top fill. That drip tip's not standard. I actually took that out of my Joytech Cubis tank. It had this extra drip tip, so I went ahead and stuck it on here because I think it looks pretty cool. But this is really a nice tank. And the coils, it's like Tesla designs this tank, which I think is a really great tank, and then they really don't support it at all. They only have two kinds of coils. It has a 0.4 Canthal and a 0.25, I believe, nickel coil, which is what I have in there right now, nickel. This mod can do titanium, but they don't even make titanium coils from. They don't make any other kinds of coils. There's no quad coils, there's none of those fancy kinds of coils, no stainless steel, nothing. They just basically made this tank and they're not supporting it at all. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not going to be able to find those coils pretty soon. You can get them pretty cheap. I can pick up a pack of 5 of these coils for like I think $11 or $10, depending where you go online. I really like the packaging that Tesla does with their mods. With everything actually. This has a magnet. There's a magnet holding this box together, and even the coils, the box of coils have a magnet, and that's really, really cool. But this mod, if most people, there's really not a lot of reviews about this mod. It's a good mod. It does temperature control with nickel and titanium. It has, let's see if I can get that to focus. Yeah, it can go up to 100 watts. It can go up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the only mod I have that automatically detects if there's a nickel or a titanium on there. On the Xcube, if I stick a nickel coil on there, it'll start firing in wattage mode. It makes no sense at all to me. It's so dumb. But this one, nickel coil, plug it in, it immediately switches to temperature control. It asks if you have nickel or titanium, and you can, it just auto detects it. It's the only one I know of that has that. I'm sure there are others, but I only have a few mods, so based on my 4 mods that I have, this is the only one I have that is able to do that. But it's a nice mod. It has like a 4,500 milliamp battery in there, I believe, milliamp hour battery, and it lasts a long time. I can go like 2, 3 days vaping on this pretty hard. It's a really nice mod. I like it. It does have that issue though. If you look at some of the other reviews on YouTube, sometimes you hit the power button and it doesn't fire. I have no idea why, but it doesn't do it enough to really be annoying. It just every once in a while, it'll just be taking a good drag and get nothing but air. So. But there it is. That's my Tesla Nano, 100 watt. It's actually rocking a red silicone sleeve. It's the original licensed Tesla sleeve, and it just protects it. It's really nice. It's really easy to hold. It's a nice little mod. Very underrated though. You don't have, not many people even know this thing exists. So on to the next one. I just picked this one up from vapenw.com. This was an amazing deal. I got this Smok BT50. This mod is probably 2 years old, 2 years out of date. I mean, it was brand new, but I don't think they had made this in a while. It was their first Bluetooth mod. I really like the green color. It was $19.99, the mod. The mod by itself was $19.99 with no battery. I picked up a Sony, I believe it's called a VTC5 battery from Vapenw for like $8. I'm hoping it's an original one. It seems to work okay. I want to get a tank with it too, so I picked up this iJoy Acme tank for $8.99. You heard that right, $8.99. I picked up this tank. This tank is awesome. This tank is really, really good. It's way better than the mod. I'm sorry. I got the mod just because it was green. I like the color. It has Bluetooth. It's the first mod from Smok which had Bluetooth, so it does work. The Bluetooth works. it's just mediocre, this mod. It's supposed to go to 65 watts, but it really can't. As soon as you put it 65 watts, it'll say you need to replace the battery, even on a fresh battery. It's, but it works. It works okay. I like the clicky fire button is really nice. These buttons are okay. The Bluetooth functionality, it's really weird because like on the Xcube, it has a puff counter on the Xcube. And you have those program settings on the Xcube too. And if you have it attached to Bluetooth or not, it'll save those settings that you had. It'll also save your puff counter, which it shows on the Bluetooth on the app. With this one, it has a puff counter only as long as you have the Bluetooth attached to this. This thing doesn't have a puff counter at all. The puff counter is happening in the app only. Because what I want to do, I want to see, I mean, most people, it's like, who gives a shit about a puff counter? I like the puff counter because you can use it as a way to see how many puffs can you get off one coil. So I just got this coil and I was like, well, I'm going to see how many puffs I can do on the first coil on this. Because a lot of people have bad reviews about this coil, and I have the 0.5 Canthal coil in there right now. And I wanted to see how long would it last? How long would this coil last? So I just got this yesterday or Friday. And I've been vaping this thing non-stop. I love this tank. It's so good. But then I found out that if this is not attached to a puff counter, I mean, I'm attached to the Bluetooth app, it ain't gonna work. So I guess I'll be attaching this tank to my Xcube, which is the only other one I have that even has a puff counter, because I want to see how many puffs it'll go before I have to change the coil. So far, it's only been 2 days. I've probably put about 350, 400 puffs on it. I've really been vaping this thing. But yeah, the coil again is what I'm talking about here. This mod is it's $20. Can't complain. $20, can't complain about a $20 mod, and it does work. It goes up to probably about 50 watts is what you can really go up to, and the Bluetooth functionality, it works. If you get too far away from the phone, it disconnects constantly. But I'm really glad I got this mainly for this tank. This tank is awesome. It has no spit back, period. Which both of the other tanks I showed you so far, the Tornado has spit back sometimes, and the TF-V4 definitely has spit back. This thing does not. When you fill it, it's a bottom fill tank. When you first fill it, it will have some juice in the coil at first for just a few minutes. You can blow it out if you just kind of blow, close the airflows a little bit and then blow it out. You can blow the juice that has collected inside the coil, and then you're good, and you can just do some serious 5, 6, 7 second inhales without no juice, no popping, nothing like that. It's just very smooth. It's a great tank, very underrated, and I'm sure it's canceled now. It's not even showing on the iJoy website anymore. So I do like this tank. In addition to that, I'm just gonna tell you that I got all this. I got the BT50. They call it the BT65 because it was upgraded to 65. Again, it's a fake. It is not 65 watts. I got this Acme tank, iJoy Acme tank, and I got these coils, a 5-pack of coils. This whole bundle here, including shipping, cost me $42. $42 for this mod, this tank, and 5 extra coils, and the battery. That is an amazing deal. So I don't feel like I got ripped off at all. This is a decent mod. I really like the way it looks. I think this green color, I wish there was more mods that were green. There's none. As far as I know, none of them make green color. They like making red and black and silver and some pink and brown and all kinds of other colors, but they never make green. So I do like the color of this mod. It's very nice. Okay, got just one more thing to show you. Okay, I said one thing. There's actually 2 things left to show you. There's a Hohm Wrecker, just the original Hohm Wrecker G1. And right now I'm rocking the Cubis tank. Here's the packaging for the Cubis. Some extra coils. These are the nickel coils. They're really kind of hard to find. I only found one place that even carries these. But these are the nickel coils, as you can see. Supposedly they're going to come up with some titanium ones soon. See, that's the BFTI there? So I look forward to that. I'd like to try titanium coils and see what they're like. But this mod, it's pretty good. It's a good mod. The main problem I have with it is the fact that it's just not that accurate sometimes for the temperature control. Like right now, supposedly this is 650 degrees. All right. See how it says this is a 0.21 ohm coil. This is a nickel coil. And it says 0.21 ohms, which is correct. But if I try to vapor like this, at 500 degrees, it doesn't even have any vapor production at all. It's like it's trying to do it at 300 degrees. And right now, it's probably 650. No, it's probably closer to 420. Is what I think the temperature's actually at. See how far it's off? It's just way off. Not even close. What you can do to kind of mitigate this somewhat is heat the tank up a bit. Like just vape on a little bit. And then just remove the tank. Hit the fire button with nothing on there so it clears out the ohms. And then re-screw it back in. And then it'll be showing an ohm rating of like 25, 26. And then it'll be closer to being accurate. It'll be actually... It's still a little low. Even at 27 ohms, it'll be showing a little bit low. It'll say 500. It's probably closer to 430 or 440, 450 maybe. So, but at least it's closer. That's what I usually do is, because I don't like it showing 650 when I know it's not. It ain't no 650. I'll burn my face off at 650. It's not even close to 650. So, and one other thing about this mod is this battery indicator. It's annoying is what it is. On the Xcube, I believe the Xcube, the battery indicator is kind of like an intelligent battery indicator. It looks at the watts that you're running, the volts that you're running, the ohms that you have in there on the atomizer you have attached, maybe even the temperature setting you have on there, and then it figures out, based on that, and the voltage of the battery right now, how much longer can it last? What percentage are we at based on this information? Okay? So in other words, if I run at 60 watts, it's going to do it accurately, and it'll run the battery all the way down to about 20%, and it'll come up with I'm talking about the Xcube now, not this. It'll run it down to 20%, and the Xcube will say, it'll say, charge the batteries now, when it gets down to 20%. And if I do the same thing, if I run at lower wattage, like if I put it 20 watts or a lower wattage, again, the battery indicator works correctly, it'll run it down to about 20% and say, charge the batteries. This one, see how it jumps around? Ugh. The spit back on this Cubis tank. Ugh. Anyway, this battery indicator just jumps around, and it will, like right now, where I'm rocking the Cubis, this is, not really super low ohms, it's 0.21. I can run it down to about 50% or so, and then it'll say charge the battery. And then I have to lower the wattage, and then it'll go for a little bit longer, and it'll say charge the battery again. And then one more time, basically I have to keep on doing it, I have to keep on adjusting the wattage, because otherwise it'll say charge the battery until I'm running to where it's so low, like I'm running 20 watts or 15 watts or something. And then and really even then, the lowest I've seen this battery get down to is like 40%. I've never seen it get below 40%. And then when I stick it onto the charger, it's rocking 3.41 volts. I'm sorry, but 3.41 volts is not 40% charge. That just doesn't make no sense. That's stupid. Okay? So the battery indicator is just really annoying on this thing. I like everything about it. I think the temperature control, it's not accurate, but it's very consistent. This 650 is always going to be 650. With this particular, as long as it's running, the 0.21s, it always stays the same. It's very consistent, and it does not want to burn cotton. Coils, temperature control coils, will last forever on this mod. It really, really doesn't want to burn the cotton. It's always going to ramp it back. But beyond that, it's good. I mean, I wish I would have got the G2, really, so I could have done other things besides just nickel and Canthal. But there was that. I got it for a good deal. I got it at a local vape shop near me called Vapormeister, and it's in Lakeside, California. And I got it for $69, which is very inexpensive for this thing. It used to sell for $199 maybe less than a year ago. It was selling for $199. So I think that's a good deal. I got it. And I'm happy with my purchase. Last thing, the Cubis. the Cubis. They advertise this tank as being the first leak-proof tank. And they got that. And if that's all that mattered, if being leak-proof is the only thing that mattered, and this was just enough to make everybody happy in the world, the whole world would now be in peace, and we can go ahead and just live for the rest of eternity in blessed peacefulness based on the fact that the Cubis atomizer is leak-proof, then I would say it did its job. Unfortunately, this thing is supposed to do other things besides being leak-proof, like deliver a good vape and not burn the damn coils up in 1 hour and not spit red-hot juice into your mouth. Those are a couple of things that people don't want to have on their tanks. So, I mean, I got this pretty cheap. I got it from a Chinese place for, I think, $14.99. I think I paid $3 shipping, so it's 18 bucks. I think it looks nice. I think it's very interesting, the fact that you just remove this little cap and you can just pour the liquid in there. That's really neat. But every time you fill this damn thing, I mean every time, the coil gets flooded. And it's really difficult to blow out all the juice that is now inside the coil. You can turn it upside down and that'll burn off some of it. But I feel like you turn it upside down, it burns it off, and then when you turn it back right side up again, it refloods it. So that doesn't solve it. It was working for me for a while, but it's not really working for me anymore. So I pretty much have to, when I fill it up, I have to just blow all the juice out of there. So I end up wasting probably about a half a mil of juice that's stuck inside the coil before I can use this thing, because it'll pop and it'll shoot, I am not kidding, white hot juice in your mouth. It is ridiculous, the design of this thing. I don't know what they could do. I really don't know what they could do to prevent that, because honestly, you're shoving the coil with the juice, the wick holes are down. So when you're pushing it down, you got to figure, just based on pure physics, that juice is going to be pushed up into the thing and then filled up. Yeah, I don't see any way around it, honestly. And I've looked online, and I can't find any. Everybody seems to be having the same problem. And that's the first problem. The good thing about it is this nickel coil. These nickel coils are great. They don't burn out. I've used this one now for a week, pretty heavily. I've probably gotten, I don't know, 1,500 puffs or so, just a guess. About 1,500 puffs I've taken, and no burnt taste at all. It's really great. These nickel coils have they have the biggest airflow of the 4 coils that I've seen. I've seen the 1.5 Clapton one. I've seen the 1 ohm stainless one, the 0.5 ohm stainless one, and now this 0.2 nickel one. I tried the 1.5 Clapton. The airflow is so restricted that it's completely unusable. It is completely unusable. I don't know, maybe if you're a mouth-to-lung guy, but even a mouth-to-lung guy, the airflow is excruciatingly restricted. You cannot even get a mouthful of vapor out of the thing. And then when you factor in the fact that it'll be spitting juice when you first put it in there, and then if you turn, supposedly it can go up to, I think it was, I'm going to say 15 watts. And I burned out the coil at 13 watts. I started getting burnt taste and it burned it up. So I threw it away. And then I put the 0.5 in there. It's like, the 0.5 got to be better. And I was pleased with the airflow. It had great airflow. But it also burnt up. It burnt up in about a day and a half. Started tasting burnt. It was garbage. So I threw it away. And then I put the 1 ohm, same thing. That one even faster, because supposedly it could go up to 25 watts. And I burned it up at 20 watts. And again, I was soaking the coil. Remember, this coil gets flooded. Okay, so it wasn't like it was a dry coil. It was flooded. And take a couple of drags and it'll start getting burnt. I just don't think the juice flow is fast enough to deal with. I just don't think the juice flow is good enough for those coil heads. The nickel solves it. The nickel, if you buy this tank and you're willing to put up with the fact that you're going to be sucking up some juice every time you refill the tank, then these nickel coils are the way to go. They're really, really good. They're very, very good. I've had basically no problems. I'm still working the original one now. It's been about a week that I've used it, and I'm still running the original one. It's really, really great. I'm really happy with these coils, if it wasn't for the other 2 issues, that is. But anyway, that's enough ranting. I hope you enjoyed this video and get to see my vaping junk. The only thing I didn't show you were the batteries that I'm running, but I think I'm using all... I'm running Imren batteries. There's some negative comments about these batteries on the internet. I think they're good. I don't have any problems with these batteries. They're really good. I have the green ones here, and I also have the purple ones in my Xcube right now. I've been very pleased with their performance thus far. They have good battery life. They charge up good. They're good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments that you'd like to leave or opinions about any of the crap that I've looked at today, do not hesitate to leave them. And thank you, and I hope you're having a great day.